Welcome to Hameen Royale. This is Eric Grissom.
And I'm Dan Johnson. Eric and I will be rewatching the iconic Twin Peaks from the pilot through the return and everything in between.
If this is your first time watching, or if you're a longtime fan, you can watch along with us as we dive deep into the strange and wonderful world of Twin Peaks.
We live inside a dream.
Today on Meanwhile, we are here to talk about wounds and scars. Dan, this is episode 24.
I prefer to think of it as season 2, episode 17.
Sure. Hey, if that's how you want to approach it,
that's how I like it.
Totally fair.
It's how I live my life.
Last time we talked on this podcast, dear listeners, you are aware, the show was canceled, right? Put on indefinite hiatus.
6 weeks.
Yep. There was a group, I said fans brought it back, and they did. A group of fans who went under the moniker COOP, C-O-O-P, which stood for Citizens Opposed to the Offing of Peaks.
Wow, that's a backronym if I've ever heard one.
Hey, these Coopers were pretty good, and there was chapters all over the place, and they launched a letter-writing campaign to get it back. The letter-writing campaign was so successful that it caught the attention of Mark Frost and David Lynch. David Lynch would go on and appear on talk shows, and he went on Letterman.
The truth of it is, if you stop and think about it, it seems like it might be the kind of show that would be, kind of have a limited run, and then would become a classic forever.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
If it has to end, that's all right. But if it doesn't have to end, that's even better. Mm-hmm. And I'm asking people to write to Bob Iger, the president of ABC. And if I could give the address.
Yes, please do.
Thanks.
I love annoying these network
Thanks,
weasels. Even if it's not this network, let's just annoy some network weasel here tonight.
Yeah.
Very great appearance of him on Letterman, asking people to write Bob Iger. So if you're mad about anything Bob Iger at Disney may have done recently, you can also be mad at him for essentially getting Twin Peaks wrong and forcing them to reveal the killer and then eventually putting the show on hiatus. But no, we're not here to talk about Bob Iger. We're going to talk about the good people of COOP. Two of the founding members of the LA chapter of COOP, Dan, Eugene Hernandez and Sherry Barner, they go on and they start a little website called IndieWire. So if you know the website IndieWire, they are former Twin Peaks fans. There was another member of COOP, Dan. Her name was Jennifer Sim. I think I'm getting her name right, the pronunciation right. She went on, she works for David Lynch, and tragically she dies in a car accident in 2001. So if you watch Mulholland Drive, you'll see that the film was dedicated to her. She was also involved with Keanu Reeves. So if you know his story, he's had a lot of hard things that happened to that man in his life. And one of them was, he was involved with this young woman and she tragically died in a car accident. She was a member of this COOP group. Now, they got invited. So Mark Frost and David Lynch invite them to visit a Twin Peaks set. And they were given notes from David Lynch and Margaret Lanterman, from Catherine Coulson, and Lynch even included $1 to buy yourself a damn fine cup of coffee. And the good people at IndieWire, they actually have the note, so you can read the note. It says, "Dear Coopers," I'm not going to do David Lynch's voice.
I was really hoping you were going to try.
I like when people that know him do it. I think it's charming. A lot of people will be throwing out the David Lynch voice. Sometimes I find it a little insulting in a way. I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to bag on people for doing David Lynch impressions. I'm not going to do one. I have too much respect for the man. But I do like it when people that he's worked with do it, because I feel like
they've earned it, right?
It's earned it. It's a charming thing. They know him, but like you could throw a rock and you hit some of these YouTube shows where people are trying to talk about some theory that they have, or this is exactly what Twin Peaks is, and they're dressing like David Lynch. I don't like that. All right. It says, "Dear Coopers, thank you for all your help and hard work in getting Twin Peaks back in the air. I wish I could tell you things looked good for the future of Twin Peaks, but episode number 22, airing on June 10th, 1991, will be the last. People are working on Europe right now on the possibility of putting together a foreign deal which was enable us to continue the show, but I'm not sure this will work out. So they were working, I guess, on this is me now. David Lynch is not just going off on a tangent.
Parenthetically.
Trying to do a season 3 overseas, which is not something I knew until I read this letter.
Wow.
If any of you have a good idea, now is the time to pass it on to J.C. Baroque. Twin Peaks is not dead in our minds, however, and one day there will be a Twin Peaks movie. So already the wheels are in motion for Fire Walk with Me. Enclosed is $1 for a damn good cup of coffee and hot. Thanks again, your friend David Lynch. Now, this is my favorite part. This is a wonderful little treat for all of you. The COOP members were also asked to bring a video camera to the set, and then they released it on YouTube. So you can watch this video, and it looks like they're shooting the last 2 episodes, because you can see the Miss Twin Peaks set, which we'll get to.
Thank you for saving our. Did you save our? Tell me, what is this again?
Citizens opposing the offing of COOP.
Citizens what?
Opposing.
The offing.
The offing
Of peaks. Of peaks.
of
Of peaks.
peaks. Oh, peaks. Got it. Okay. This is good. Did it work?
And they end up interviewing, you see Jack Nance, Michael Anderson, Richard Beamer, Cheryl Lee, Kyle MacLachlan, David Lynch, Frank Silva. It's wonderful. I'm going to post the video on our Patreon, free and paid people. You can watch it. I strongly recommend that you all see it. It's like a gold mine of like what the place was like, because you see the sets, right? You see the cast, but you also see the crew. Like you see all the people. You see people answering phones. Like you get a feel for what it was like to make an episode. There's so many people in it, including those members that I mentioned of COOP. So you get to see them. I think it's Richard Beamer takes the camera and then puts it on them so that they could be part of the video. It's really cool. Wonderful thing. I had never seen it before. I watched it today. And you will watch it too if you're a member of our Patreon. And you don't have to pay.
That's incredible.
It's going to be free. All right, Dan. You don't want to hear me give you the entire backstory about how they brought Twin Peaks back. But they did. Letter writing campaign, successful. And guess what? We're not on Saturday anymore.
What?
You're a beautiful bunch. Here we go. On your mark, get set, go!
Annie M.
Andy M.
I must have been dreaming. It was horrible. We were on Saturdays. Andy, you were there. The log lady was there. And the man from another place was there too.
Saturdays. That is a bad dream.
Diane, Thursdays at 9, 8 Central. There's no place like home. Got it.
We are back to Thursday at 9 p.m. So these last 6
Prime
episodes,
spot.
Yep, the letter writing campaign made a difference, and not only did they bring the show back to finish off the 6 episodes, but they moved it to a decent time slot. So it's now up against antagonists.
Thursday, the DA thinks he's a killer. The defense thinks he's not.
You're a long way from home, Jack.
You two have a certain chemistry.
The antagonists.
Never heard of that show.
No
but
idea.
that was a
Nope.
show. Fox had Beverly Hills 90210. NBC had Cheers.
Oh,
So I guess CBS had something called Antagonists. Unfortunately, wasn't enough. Still got last place. Doesn't matter. It's back. This is written by Barry Pullman. Now, we remember Barry, don't we? From episode 12, he wrote Orchid's Curse. He wrote episode 18, The Mass Ball, and he's going to end up writing the second to last episode, Miss Twin Peaks. It's directed by James Foley. A year from now, he'll direct Glengarry Glen Ross a year later. Now, there was an interview with James Foley in Film Freak Central, which is not related to Film Freak West. I just legally by law have to say that.
thank you for the disclaimer.
He says he didn't like making this episode. So in this interview, he basically says that he found it empty and that he found himself constrained. Now, I've heard from a lot of different filmmakers that worked on the show in interviews or in commentaries. This is the first time I've ever heard anyone say that their hands were sort of tied behind their back. I mean, we went through that Diane Keaton episode. It didn't look like anyone was tying anyone's hand behind their back. But he makes a point of saying that he wanted to have a character have a blue suitcase. Now, it's got to be something, I guess, maybe in the Great Northern or something. He wanted a blue suitcase. He was like, hey, I want this suitcase blue. And he's like, everyone in the set's like weirded out. And he's like, come on, no one could get me some blue paint. And they're like, David Lynch doesn't want anything blue in the show, they said. Now, this doesn't make any sense to me because, first off, the Double R outfits are blue. In this very episode, Annie is wearing a blue sweater. Like, I understand there's a coral look, there's a coral filter over it, and there's a reddish, warm quality to all of Twin Peaks. The idea that there's a rule that you can't have anything blue, and there's clearly blue things in this episode, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not calling the guy out. He's passed away. Glengarry Glen Ross is a great movie. In any case, he didn't have fun with this episode. Also, he says that when he was told that David Lynch doesn't want anything blue, he says, let me talk to him. And they said, no, he's in Tokyo selling art or whatever, which lines up with the whole theory that Lynch is not around because he had an art show in Japan, so he was probably overseas. I don't know. Do what you want with that. It's interesting to hear all of that stuff about about his whatever, his unhappiness. But that's all. Do you have anything to add to that, or should we jump into the? Should we wound ourselves and bear the scars for a story?
No, I feel like I just learned a whole heck of a lot. No, let's just dive in.
Would you like something to drink?
Yes, I'd like a cup of deep black Joe, please.
Coming right up.
You must be Norma's sister.
I'm Annie. How did you know?
Dale Cooper, local law enforcement.
Must keep you pretty busy.
Sure does. Are you staying in town for a while?
I might be here quite a while.
It's happened to me.
Looks like it's grown on you.
It has a way of doing that.
So at the bookhouse, Harry is drowning his broken heart in booze, and Hawk delivers him a breakfast from Norma, and he asks about life at the station. Dan, tell me about poor Harry.
It looks like there's a new emo hero in town. We don't need James. We got Harry now. This noir opening is really great. You got that smooth jazz saxophone in the background, the black and white, the slow-mo shots, the Harry recalling these moments with Josie. Not all of them good, by the way. We do see, Josie spinning around in the negligee she bought, but at that moment, if we recall, Harry was onto her and she was trying to distract him. So he's just going through all the emotions. I think it's great. Really get to see Harry's in it, man. He's at the bottom of that bottle. Yeah, so there he is, drinking his breakfast. Is it Hawk that says that the man has a poor sense of recreation? Is that the quote? I think it was from Hawk that says this about Harry sitting there. But he really does seem, even though he's completely sloshed, kind of touched that Norma did make breakfast for him like that, even though he decides he's not going to touch that, would rather drink his whiskey instead. But yeah, we're just beginning to scratch the surface of emo Harry and where he's going to go. What do you think of this scene?
I really like the opening. I like the the memories of Josie and the way he's just like turning the glass, like the world is spinning. It's just an interesting montage. That song, Josie and Truman, I believe, is the song that is playing there. We do get some plot setting, like, Harry does the, what's going on? And clearly everything is all about Earl and this chess game. And I like Harry's line when he's like, hey, you and Cooper can run it. It's a simple town. And then he says, or it used to be, which echoes Jean Reno's same words that he told Cooper. Things are not what they were. Twin Peaks has changed. It's never going back. And they're all sort of coming to grips with this idyllic small town is destroyed. So I like it. It's a good scene to open up. But we're going to go over to the Double R, and Annie is going to arrive, and we get to meet Annie with to see her sister Norma. And Margaret's log has something for Major Briggs.
So we finally get to see Annie, and it's a incredibly young Heather Graham. That was a surprise to me the first time I saw this. I just didn't expect her, and I was watching it after she had already kind of become famous. I guess Boogie Nights had already come out by the time I saw this. So I was like, holy crap, that's it was just cool to see her here. It's it's funny to see, like, she says she's been in the convent so long she's almost forgotten how to use money. She's got a hairdo that looks like she's been in the convent since the 1960s, which is great. I can't quite get a read on Shelley when does she just completely, I think Major Briggs is kind of wacko, or just like, I don't know. She's writing the check to drop to him, and he says compelling while she's writing the bill, which admittedly, not the most obvious thing to say to a waitress when she's writing the bill for your food, but she just kind of gives this eye roll and walks away. Or like, did you notice that? I don't know. Maybe just...
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had that in my notes. Yeah, like he says compelling as his review of the food. And
that's how you took that? Okay, I had no idea what it's referring to.
Yeah. He's that's his review. It's compelling. He's giving a positive review, and she's having none of it. So you can see her annoyance with him, I think, mirrors her frustration with his son, because you forget this is the dad of her boyfriend.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's not just a stranger.
I did forget.
But I mean, it's just weird anyway to treat your significant other's father so weird. And then you wonder, like, okay, what is her opinion of Major Briggs? Because it's completely filtered through Bobby. So who knows what things Bobby is telling her about her dad? Like, so it's an interesting little dramatic scene between the two of them to see. Because no, she's totally sort of rolls her eyes as she's definitely annoyed with him. But it's cool when you think of like the fact that that's her boyfriend's dad.
That's a great, you're totally right. Did not even occur to me. That's obviously part of what's going on there. I never would have read him saying compelling as a review of the food. That's just not, when do you ever say compelling for the food? It seemed like he was, I don't know, appraising her. Maybe there's several layers of meaning here as well. I don't know. But you're right. How is it filtered through Bobby's take on his dad? But then at the same time, we don't know the status of the relationship between Bobby and Shelley right now, and I can't imagine it's good. So regardless of whatever the history of between Shelley and Major Briggs via Bobby, right now it's going to be colored by that part of the relationship too. So I don't know. That's great. I don't know why none of that occurred to me, but that's why I'm glad to talk to you about it. But now we're sitting there with Major Briggs. We get a reverse shot over his shoulder, and we see the mark on his neck that he got when his experience happened. And Margaret comes up and touches the back of his neck. It's like, gives me chills, because now I'm ready. Let's get back to the main story. Let's get back to the mythology. We've closed down all these other storylines that we didn't need to follow anyway. Can we get back into this part? So it was just great to see, like, okay, I know where some of the episode is going to go later. So I was very excited about that. I don't know. Tell me more. What's your first impression of Annie as well?
So yeah, backing up to Annie, it's a great scene because we've heard about Annie last episode through Norma, that she's like from this other time and place, and we don't know yet all of her past history, but we know it's something from this scene because she's worried what Norma told Shelley about her, because Shelley comes up and she's like, hey, Norma told me all about you. And she's like, all about me. And she's hiding this, we don't know why she's left the convent. So I like that little moment between him, and it makes, I like the character of Annie. I also love, this is like a great period for Heather Graham. I mean, she's also coming off of Drugstore Cowboy, Gus Van Sant's Drugstore Cowboy. Absolute fantastic movie. I've already done an audio drop of Drugstore Cowboy in this Twin Peaks podcast. That's how much I'm a fan of that movie.
Speaking of dogs, do you think that Rick and I could get a little pup? Just a little something to hold and pet. You guys are gone?
No. No fucking dogs.
Why, Bob? What do you got against dogs?
Look, no fucking dogs, and that's fine.
But I like that both sisters also share a moment about their mom. They both hate their mom. So we're going to hear about Vivian. We may not see Vivian again, but there's that little exchange. And it's like, okay, you're also coming from this damaged family like Shelley. Here you are. Now it's almost like three sisters coming together, which I love. We talked about Shelley and Major Briggs already, so I'll skip that. Man, Margaret entering the scene. And the world of Twin Peaks always gets better when Margaret Lanterman is on the scene. And her entrance from the side, the log entering the frame is just so good. And it's reminiscent of episode 14. It's happening again when Margaret's at the station about to tell Cooper that there are owls at the roadhouse. And it's as if the log is approaching, not Margaret. Like the log is drawn to Briggs and Margaret's just sort of a vessel to carry that log. Oh, it's awesome. It's a wonderful scene. Always better with Catherine Coulson. All right, so we're going to jump over to the sheriff's station. Cooper is brushing up on Interpol documentation as he tries to sort out the Josie and Eckert situation, some international business to do. Hawk informs him that Harry is in a bad spot, and Cooper tells them that they are still waiting for Wyndham's move.
You got Cooper, shot of just Cooper's eyes above the Interpol folder. It's got warnings in there, so he's reading some documentation. He just has this subtle raised eyebrow at something as he's reading it, which is just intriguing. I love that he's back in real police mode here. We got Hawk and Cooper talking about how worried they are about Harry hitting rock bottom. The two of them this friendship, man, especially Cooper and Harry, but like Cooper and Hawk and Harry, the three of them, I love these guys together. So sorry about Harry. So sorry about Josie, but he's got to get over it. But the two of them expressing concern is really great. So interesting that Doc Hayward couldn't determine Josie's cause of death and that the body only weighed 65 pounds, Eric.
Yeah, it's very odd.
What could that possibly mean?
Well, I don't know. Well, you say what you think it is.
Well, it's the weight of a person's soul.
Oh, is that what you say it is?
I have no idea what it is, but that's what I think it is. It's the weight of their soul. Her soul's no longer in her body. Part of her essence was removed.
Right. Like, whatever she weighed, the body weighs 65 pounds, right? So it's like whatever she weighed minus 65, you're saying is the weight of a soul.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm just like, was it that she was just so full of fear that most of her body became fear and then Bob feasted on the fear? And that's all that's left. Or is it something else? Like, I genuinely don't know. I'm just thinking that it is she was being devoured and there's only 65. It's interesting. Is it because, to your point, like, okay, that's because she's in the doorknob. I keep saying doorknob. I edited that freaking episode and I keep saying doorknob. I can't drawer knob. That makes sense to me too, that's the weight of her, her essence, her soul, whatever.
Right.
So that's cool too. So yeah, it's interesting. And is there anything to 65, the number 65? I don't think so, but it's an interesting detail.
I think it's more interesting to see like what the part that's missing is. Obviously we don't know her weight, but that's the part, like, I'm interested. What is that number? There was the movie 21 Grams that was about like the weight of a soul, which ends up being like, a few ounces
in this economy,
right? Inflation,
I like that Hawk recognizes, like, okay, we all know you are in charge here. Like, technically, Hawk is a superior officer, and he's like, I don't like paperwork anyway. But there is no fighting. There's no like power vacuum or anything. It's clearly like we all know that you should be you should be the one leading this investigation. Anyway, clearly you have a history with Earl. That you're in charge. So that all sort of is great. And I like his mention of like whistling past the graveyard, like faking that everything is fine because they know there's terrible stuff all around and they're just going to ignore it, which I think is good.
Well, yeah. right before he says that, Cooper says, the body weighed 65 pounds. Hawk says, how's that possible? Cooper says, I don't know. Maybe something to do with what I saw in the room when she died. And that's his response, whistle past the graveyard. So what he saw in the room, that was Bob. That was the man from another place. There was the red room. So you had mentioned before that they didn't kill Josie's character off, but did this thing with her in the hopes or to keep open a door that maybe they would bring her back later, maybe in the red room or something. You think you said something like that?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. It is like, again, it's her soul coming out. It's whatever that part of her is got taken to this other place. And that would be, if we ever had that part of the storyline, we would have seen Josie in the red room. And that's the remainder?
Right. We see that remainder in the handle. We'll touch more about Josie coming back because there was something in the last episode of season 2. Didn't necessarily work out. We'll cover that later.
Okay. Cool. Put a pin in that, folks.
But yes, that's what I had heard, that as a way of sort of keeping her around. If they wanted to bring her back, they would.
Very cool. Okay.
All right. So we're going to jump over to Earl's cabin. Earl uses Leo as a houseboy and rages when he learns that Cooper is getting help. There should be no cheating, Dale.
Yeah, man. He doesn't even know the meaning of the term stalemate. Leo, again, the poor abused puppy or lion previously or whatever. He's fetching slippers in a newspaper. He's just fully domesticated Leo.
It's perfect, though. Like, what better fate for Leo? What a more fitting fate for Leo, who used Shelley as a maid to be getting the flowers, getting the slippers. It's wonderful.
It's great. Yeah, we got Earl there, twirling a daisy. What's he doing with his nose?
I don't know. He's at this inhaling thing. Like, maybe it's like a breathing technique. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. And I'm wondering, am I forgetting something that's going to come later that he's doing this for? Or as of now, I'm trying not to watch ahead again.
Right.
Most of the stuff I can remember, I think it may just be an acting choice.
Just a weird choice they made.
He's got the flower. He's talking about like the smell of the country you don't like until you're back in it. So I don't know. Maybe there is something more to it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was just a very strange choice among many choices, strong choices that he makes. But yeah, so now we see that Earl takes a look at the paper. He even opens the paper angrily. This man needs a hug. I think Leo's right there to give it to him. Let's see what Cooper's next move is. He sees it, places the move on the chessboard, and immediately shouts at him. It's like, it's a stalemate move, and Cooper doesn't know the meaning of it, or whatever he says. When he does, he shouts and he hits Leo with the paper. In the background, you hear the sound of a bunch of birds taking off in flight, some screeching. I don't think it's an owl sound in the background. I did actually go and try to find sounds of owls in the Pacific Northwest, and it wasn't any of those. But there definitely was like a hawk or like kind of screeching sound in the background. I don't know if there's anything to make of that other than it just emphasized how angry he was. But birds, whatnot in the woods. And then he starts beating Leo with his recorder or flute or whatever it is that he's playing. Or I can't feel sorry for Leo. It's impossible. I'm not allowed. I'm not feeling sorry for Leo. But anyway, ominously, Earl says that many people are going to regret this. So I don't know, man. It's not looking good. No. I don't know. What about you?
I happy that when he moves Cooper's pawn, we are in sync. Can you feel it, Jacques? We are in sync. The moves on the chessboard in front of Earl are matching the moves that are supposedly happening in the story, so I like that.
Thank goodness.
The transition from his flute playing to the next scene is wonderful. I love how that works. And I also like that we focus on Earl's ring. It's an interesting ring. It's also a golden circle, not unlike Cooper's ring, which is another connection to, is it the marriage band that he wore with Caroline that he's still holding on to? There's a lot of stuff with Cooper's ring, particularly next week. We'll be doing the autobiography of Dale Cooper, some stuff about the ring and that. So looking forward to it. So it's something to keep your eyeballs on. All right, so we're going to jump over to the Great Northern, and Audrey is going to teach 2 models how to walk the runway for an upcoming fashion show / fundraiser. Dick is a creep, Tim Pinkle returns, and John Justice Wheeler asks Audrey to a picnic.
Yep. You mentioned the transition from the previous scene to this one. That slow motion walk of Audrey is just fantastic, and it just reminds me of Audrey's dance and the double R, the dreamy quality of it.
It's like a snake charmer too, like because he's playing the flute, and then you go to Sherilyn Fenn, and she's swaying back and forth. So it's a very seductive, beautifully shot and great transition.
Dick Tremaine back again, worse than ever. Just when I was starting to kind of enjoy his little back and forth with Andy and the weird odd couple they were forming, now he's just full on creep mode again. What does he say? He's like talking to the two women, the models there. Ladies, may I say you both delightfully represent the sanctity of nature.
Ian Buchanan is amazing. He's
great. I mean, he's just fantastic, obviously, but the Dick is quite something. I love that we have Squiggy is back. Going to be talking about the Pine Weasel. Fantastic. What can't he do? You did make reference to him last time we saw him. He was selling the hospital home care furniture to Bobby and Shelley. He said, we're going to see him again. He's into taxidermy. So thank you for that, Tim Pinkle, man of many talents. And now we got John Justice and Audrey going on a picnic date together, which just picnics, man. Picnics in Twin Peaks. They're the biggest thing.
It's the height of romance.
Everyone loves a picnic. You got to go to a lake. You got to be in the woods. You got to be picnicking.
You got to do a little dance routine by your motorcycle.
Absolutely. Cannot wait. I just want, oh, Jesus Christ.
James? You're trying to say James?
Yeah, thank you. Jesus Christ. I forgot. Out of sight, out of mind.
I thought you were shutting down.
James is gone. No.
James is not coming back, Dan. It's over.
I just want James to go driving by on the motorcycle while the two of them are picnicking. I think that'd be perfect. Anyway, Eric, tell me.
All right. I talked about Ian Buchanan. He's always great. I love that Pinkle is back for the Pine Weasel talk. And then he's arriving with this taxidermied weasel. We're going to get to the access guide where we can learn more about we'd heard that reference to Tim and Tom's taxidermy. So here he is with the taxidermied weasel, which when you first see it, you're like, okay, this is a benefit about caring for an animal. And now we have a stuffed one. And Dick picks up on it immediately. He's like, we can't have this. I'm trying to set up a successful show. But because he makes this change to use a live weasel, and the two of them have this disagreement over this, it blows up in their face at the end. So it's like you see the seeds being planted for the end of this episode. I do like I have mixed feelings about John Justice. He's very corny.
Okay.
It's very corny. But I do like their little exchange. Clearly, Cooper and Audrey, that is a hot coal. You could cook your breakfast on that thing. No question. Yes, it's corny, but I do love the exchange where they're getting their menu together for a picnic, and she's like, I don't know, I don't have any food. He's like, I think we can find someone in the kitchen who does, or whatever. Bet we can find someone in the kitchen who does. It's kind of cute. It's kind of dumb.
I guess.
For me, I hate saying it, but there is something that is a little charming, I find, about the two of them. It's no Cooper and Audrey. I don't want people to be freaking writing in comments being like, are you kidding? I like Twin Peaks. I like this world. There's something about the banter I like. Maybe not the singing.
It is corny. It is charming, but I do think it's Audrey carrying most of that load for me. She can do anything. So I mean, she could have been playing off of Tim Pinkle, and it still would have been charming, I think. We're fine. Actually, that's the romance that I want to see is Audrey and Tim Pinkle. Yeah. But no, this we'll see how far this goes, but sure.
All right, so let's go to the bookhouse. Cooper's going to hit Harry with some tough facts about Josie.
So Josie was apparently also wanted in Hong Kong.
Yeah, she's got
including prostitution arrests, which seems to hit Harry pretty hard. That one really just caused him to take a beat there. But yeah, I mean, Cooper just trying to help by showing like Harry who Josie really was. But just Harry kind of shouting him down and all of this is
he
just
does
so
a lot
tragic.
of shouting.
This is shouty Harry.
When Harry was shouting at Josie, "Put it down!" last week, I told you he wasn't done.
I knew as soon as he started here, it's like, oh, that's what Eric meant.
He's going back to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it other than, poor guy.
I don't like this. This is like a part of a bigger... I don't have many issues with Twin Peaks, but would be one of them. There's just so much made in certain episodes of Twin Peaks about virginity and sex as a way of making people impure. Like, good girls don't have sex. Audrey, I didn't sleep with anyone. I want you to know that. Cooper, One-Eye Jacks. And Josie was a prostitute. Like, that's the thing. Meanwhile, she's shooting Cooper. She's murdering dudes, but it's like the prostitution things. It's like a tired trope. And we're going to see this even with Annie. Like, Annie coming from a convent. Like, there's all this stuff. And it's like Laura is the greatest characters of all time. And yes, she slept with a lot of people, but she's the best. Like, so I don't like that part of it. And they make a big deal about virginity. We're not done with that. There's going to be more of that. But I don't like, that's all I have to say. I don't really like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a product of its era. And I think it's a product of David Lynch's imagined America of the 1950s.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put David Lynch on that at all. I mean, this is stuff coming from other writers and other things. I don't get that
he's setting the
Fire
world,
Walk
though.
With Me. I still don't get that from Fire Walk with Me or from any of his episodes or any of Mark Frost's episodes. I feel like that's a thing that sort of was introduced from some other people that is carried through. So I would disagree with you on that.
Well, fine. The show's over. All right. Next scene.
There's one reading too, as well, like with Cooper saying she was a prostitute. It doesn't have to be she's no good because she slept with people. It's also like a subtle way of him saying she fooled people for money all the time. She had sex with people and made people think that they loved her. She also fooled you. Like, you think that she...
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I think that is the reading of it. That's exactly how I took it. It's not the prostitution in and of itself. It's that she sold her intimacy in order to manipulate people.
Right, but I'm just saying, he's basically saying she didn't love you, get over it. Kind of like a tough love thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Are we agree?
I don't know. I can't get my thoughts.
Harry's got me so angry I'm shouting.
Anyway, okay. So
Eric,
at the
let's go to the Blue Pine Lodge.
Come on, God damn it, dude. At the Blue Pine Lodge, Catherine is reviewing her Ghostwood development plans when Mrs. Jones arrives to leave her a gift.
Yeah, Jones, she's the executive assistant to the late Mr. Eckhart, just lets herself in. I like that Catherine is now all up in the Ghostwood plans. She's looking at like drawings or sketches of what some of the homes are going to look like. She's fully project managing this.
She's got like architectural, looks like plans in front of her, and behind her is the artist rendition.
That's right.
Like the home or whatever they're going to be building there.
Which do look lovely. I mean, Pine Weasel or no, I might invest in that. That looks great. But yeah, when Ms. Jones says something about didn't we all love Josie, or we all love Josie, and Catherine's didn't we all, is just fantastic. The two of those women together, it's a powder keg. The tension between the two of them is awesome. I love just how Catherine casually pulls out a gun. Just a gun at the ready from now on. She's ready to go. But Ms. Jones is just not at all. She's clearly dealt with scarier situations than Catherine Martell with a gun. So this is just great. Two very powerful women having a standoff here. I love the way Ms. Jones leaves and says, good luck, Ms. Martell. And then she kind of like smirks at the box that she left her there as she walks away. Just like, oh boy, you're in for it. It's great. It's just such a great setup for this. So mysterious character played against Catherine. I love it.
Yeah, there's like two Vipers. There's definitely mutual respect for them or for each other that they have, which is just kind of neat to watch. She's come there to expedite the body right back to Hong Kong. and she mentions that when she mentions that Eckert loved Josie and says that they'll be buried side by side.
No, he really did love Josie.
Didn't we all?
They're going to be buried side by side.
So they can keep an eye on each other.
Is a nice nod to when Josie was threatening Ben, and she was like,
If anything unfortunate were to happen to me, you would lead authorities to a certain safety deposit box in a bank in another city, inside of which there is enough evidence to lock you away for 3 lifetimes. They'll bury us side by side.
they'll bury us side by side, but in this case, it's going to be Eckert and Ben. She's literally getting buried side by side.
That's funny.
The gun draw that like Catherine does is one of the most soap opera moments of this thing, because you see her like kind of stiffen up where she's probably reaching for it, and she whips that gun out, and the music swells, and it's like, it's one of the most soap opera-y. This could be a dynasty at that moment.
It's terrific.
Hello, friends, and welcome to The Midpoint. You knew it was coming, but it's important. It's important to champion those that have joined us in the Black Lodge and have made this show possible by going above and beyond. I'm, of course, talking about Eric Knopp, and Dawn Adamo, and Gregory Flanagan, and Chuck Suffel, and Banjo Track. I may want all my Garmonbozia, but you will have my heart forever. How did they get here? How did they get a shout out like this? Because they have joined our Patreon, which is available right now. So if you want to support the show, you can stop by and sign up for free, or do one of the paid tiers that gets you the secret podcasts, and you help us out. Go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile, and you should see a link for the Patreon there. All right, let's get back to the proper episode. All right, we're going to jump over to the Haywards, where Gerald Craig, an old friend of Doc Hayward, pays a surprise visit, but he only finds Donna. Remember her? He leaves a gift for her, another gift. Yeah, so while Eckert's games may not be over with his gift, we have more gifts that also are games.
The gifts that keep on giving. Dr. Craig has some ridiculous makeup. Wyndham Earle, throughout all of this, I don't know if it's a lot of costumes, but even the grease paint on the eyebrows to make them gray, everything. I don't know if it's an artifact of like being able to watch in a high resolution version than it would have aired. I think we said the same, or I said the same about Catherine's makeup before as well. Maybe it held up better when you couldn't see it as good as you can see it now. Anyway, fine. We got him there, but it's just to have him invade Donna's space in her home and knowing having a sense of what a threat he is. We don't really, other than killing a drifter.
Yeah, he's killed people. I think he's a proper threat.
So it's just great to see him in there. It's not exactly. It just makes me remember the feeling of the threat of Donna and Leland when Bob is there. It's just she doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't realize the danger she's in, but we're in on it and just scared for her the whole time. It's reminiscent of that, and I love that. Fear in the mundane, fear in the domestic setting is just so effective. I'm glad they're using that here. He's also just such a creep. When he's like, you have 2 sisters, right? Are they both as beautiful as you? What a line. She's charmed by it seems. So it works again, product of his era, but like so gross. I do have a question. He says, Donna says that she's still in high school. Is she? We haven't seen a kid in school in months. Yep. Has everyone just decided, I'm done with this? My friends have died. I've got my own diploma. I don't need to go back to school. I just thought it was funny just to make reference. Oh, yeah, these people are actually supposed to be teenagers in high school.
You only get that essentially like whenever characters meet, they'll be like, oh, hey, like remember first period? Like it's going to happen again, too, with Mike. A bit later, yeah, like to remind you that, yeah, they're...
Which is it's a different version of that. I can't wait for that. It's a funny scene. But that's it for me. What do you got about this?
Oh, this is a great scene. It's so properly tense. I feel like this is one of the best scenes in this little run of episodes, the end of the middle or whatever, counting the middle. It's just so tense. And like that, they do that shot of them on the couch, and it's the same angle and same sort of setup, or very similar setup to episode 9, when Bob comes out and comes over the couch, like just seeing us in the Hayward home when Maddie was sitting there before and she watches Bob come over the couch. I love it.
Yeah.
Get some chess move. We're not going to figure out that it's a chess move yet, but I love that he leaves that gift and he leaves a number, a little extra detail, a little extra thing for it. I love that. So we'll set that up for later. We're going to jump over to the station house. Pete continues to strategize the Earl Cooper chess match. Cooper learns that it's impossible not to lose some pieces, and the Major and Margaret arrive with a message for Cooper.
We got Pete playing the many consecutive chessboards all at once is really great. The fact that they're all set up and he's going down beneath the table and then popping up another place, and then Cooper kind of does the same thing. They just remind me of like fairy dogs or something popping up among the chessboards. I think that's great. Panning across. I don't know what the deal was with the bottle of honey that was sitting there, but just imagining that he's
snacks. Yeah.
Just needs fuel to keep going. He's not stopping. He's not sleeping. He's really running himself ragged on this. I love this side of Pete. I'm so glad they decided to give this dimension to him. It's just great. He's got all these different chess books that he's reading as well, trying to figure out every possible way to do this. And yeah, the realization that even in the, I like the fact that he says even like the best possible one that he's seen on record, he still lost so many pieces, but I can improve on that, but we're still going to like, he's not the kind of person who's going to have an inflated sense of ego. So if he says that that's what he's going to be able to do, it's true because he's not just going to be blowing smoke. So like I just love that he is this chess master. Yeah, but you can really see that the stress of this, that it's not a chess game, it is people's lives, and that he has to do the absolute best to save people. You can see that it's wearing on him. And I just really, again, I love seeing that side of him. But it doesn't get too heavy in the scene because then we get his chess students, Andy and Lucy, playing chess together. Lucy's still being a pain in the butt to Andy. She's just not letting him go, man. It's just real sad. I wish the relationship was different than it is. But anyway, the two of them playing. I love Andy saying that the hook move is optional. It's really great. Oh, you got to do it every time? Okay. Terrific. Absolutely lovely. And then we get, finally, Briggs and Margaret arriving at the station. We'll get some more information about what's going on there. But anyway, yeah, tell me what are your thoughts on Pete and the chessboard?
Yeah, I think you said most of this stuff. Like, there's a note on the board about perpetual check. So, like, always looking for a way to just keep sort of attacking that king to keep him moving without losing pieces, but it's impossible. It's impossible. You're seeing Pete go through every possibility, and there's no way someone is not going to die. And the piece of this that I like the most is Earl knows Cooper, right? I mean, Earl says that Cooper is predictable, that he's always doing the same things. He's consistent and he's predictable, but Cooper knows Earl. He knows Earl's impatient and easily frustrated, and we've already seen that. We watched him rip that thing and hit Leo with the flute, and he knows he's sort of getting to him that way. And we also learn that he wants royalty, right? Like,
right.
Yes, we may lose some pawns, but that's not what Earl's after. And if we create a game where he has to do that, it's going to drive him absolutely bonkers. Eventually he wants the queen. He wants something as a stand-in for Caroline.
Right.
You covered everything else with the Pete students thing as a funny moment. Okay, so we're going to jump over to the conference room because that's who we really want to talk to. You want to talk to Margaret, and we want to talk to the Major. Cooper's going to draw the pattern that was on the Major's neck, and Margaret's going to share a mark of her own, similar but unique symbol.
Yeah. Again, to your point earlier about the log entering the frame before Margaret does in the diner, Margaret says the log knows the mark on Briggs' neck, and she's got that marking that is very similar in terms of the coloration of it and kind of the overall shapes of it, but it looks almost like a landscape to me, maybe, where his looks more like this kind of warning sign or radiation sign or something. That looks like a landscape. Talking about the call of an owl, they all saw the light. Margaret remembers hearing the owl before her husband died in the fire in the woods. That was a callback to the story that she told whenever they met her at her cabin before. So that's significant. I love that that's still being not forgotten. Kind of keep that in the mix of things that's going on here. So yeah, the Margaret and Briggs are looking at the symbols on the chalkboard, and I love that the two of them both know that they mean something but can't quite place what it is. There's a subconscious thing that they can't quite get at, which brings to mind, Briggs saying that the memory is in there, but he just can't recall it. So this kind of repressed memory thing is pretty cool. Anyway, that's it.
We learned that when Catherine was 7, she disappeared in the woods. That's how she got the marking. That she was gone for a day. She saw that flashing light, and then she gets the mark on the back of her leg. And you wonder, okay, this happened to Briggs. Did Briggs go to the White Lodge? Did Catherine go to the White Lodge? She heard this sound. She saw this light right before her husband died in the fire. Did he too go to the White Lodge, Black Lodge? Is Margaret's husband in one of these places? Cooper also saw this stuff, so he can attest to it when Briggs was taken. So it's interesting to think about, like, Catherine's husband, a fireman, perhaps, or a woodsman, or we will see. We will see what comes of that. All right, so we're gonna go over to the picnic. Everybody's been waiting for the picnic. You got a little significant other? Maybe you want to take them to a picnic. Maybe you want to serenade them. John Justice Wheeler serenades Audrey, and Audrey opens up to him about her loneliness.
Oh God, the singing just this. If it gets cornier than this, I might have to off myself. This is rough. And just the way that she's looking at him too, it's working. So that makes it even worse. All right, whatever. Audrey's officially over Cooper now. She, I guess. I mean, that must be the reference to the person. Are you seeing anyone? I'm not anymore. Whatever that conversation is. Clearly, is about her infatuation with Cooper, and that's gone now. Hopefully, resolved into a lasting friendship, but we'll see. So we got that. Yeah, this is a stupid note. It's a continuity thing, but I don't quite get it. In this scene, in the picnic, laying there on the ground, they're surrounded by like autumn leaves on the ground. There's just red leaves all over the place. And in the next scene, we cut over to the Hayward's house, and there's a tree in full bloom. It looks like it's spring. It's just funny. Like, there's so many things, like details they get so precise throughout the show, and certain things like, what are you doing? I cannot get a sense of the time. Is this March?
Yeah, we said it's March, right? Because she dies on February 24th. So we're like 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away.
So it shouldn't be leaves there shouldn't be like freshly fallen autumn leaves on the ground. And there certainly shouldn't be a tree in full bloom in their front yard at the Haywards.
Well, that's what's weird. Like, if it's 2 exterior shots, though, they would have shot both of them in California around the same time.
Or they were banked shots from another time they shot it. It doesn't really have to have been.
Oh, well, I don't know what the other shot is you're referencing. Is it just an exterior shot? Then yeah, that could have been.
Yeah, it's just an exterior shot as we're transitioning into the Haywards. Yeah, it's not a dialogue shot. Anyway, stupid note. It was just I felt this way throughout watching the show. Is like, oh yeah, this is actually supposed to be a really compressed period of time, but it's just spanned over our viewing of for us many weeks and in real time many years. It's just hard to place where they're supposed to be. Anyway, sorry, that's it. Little tangent.
Yeah, no, I think we covered that a little bit. It used to be about a day to day, and it is about a day to day, but there was that 3-day period. So, it's roughly how many episodes we've done, 25 episodes plus the pilot. So we're about a month, I guess, from her death. Yeah, so the singing is corny.
Yes.
I didn't realize that I would end up on this podcast being a defender of the John Justice Wheeler Audrey stuff. But there is something I do like. I like the vulnerability of Audrey opening up, because you get a sense of how isolated she is. Her father's a creep. Her brother is sort of unreachable. We don't even really talk about him anymore. Never see the mom. She is alone. She's in love with this guy, Cooper. He rejects her, for good reason, but she's ultimately rejected. She feels that she's not close with any of these other kids in her school. Even her relationship with Bobby, if you want to call it a relationship, is one in which she's trying to get something out of him. She's sort of worked with Donna a little bit on uncovering the the Laura Palmer mystery, but they haven't talked since that cigarette in the bathroom that I can remember. She doesn't really have any friends.
Right.
And
yeah.
she's right. Like, no one knows me, and like I can't really be myself. So there is something that's nice about somebody serenading her, even if it's corny, and to see her happy about it. And that's like speaks volumes to Sherilyn Fenn's as an actress, because she just lights up the screen. So yes, I acknowledge it. I know it's corny, sure, but for me, it kind of works. And she feeds him an apple, like he's an old horse or something. That's her Troy, I guess. It's fine. All right, so we're gonna jump over to the Haywards. Donna's gonna let her parents know that Gerald Craig paid them a visit, and Doc is gonna let her know that Gerald Craig is dead, and he's gonna rush to Cooper with Earl's next move.
Eric, I got fooled. That was not Gerald Craig. That was Wyndham Earl the whole time.
Yeah, that was Wyndham.
That was Wyndham Earl the whole time.
And he's not done dressing up.
No, he's got at least 2 more costume changes in this, which just, yeah, keep going, man. I love that the phone number is the phone number to the cemetery. I'm presuming the cemetery in which Gerald Craig was buried, because it would have to be. That would just be the best way to do it. But
even if it wasn't, it's just a little detail that's perfect. It's like, you didn't have to do that. You've already freaked out this high school girl. You've already made your, that I could get at anyone that's close to you, Cooper, including your friends and their kids.
Yep.
But that's the Earl difference.
I love that. Well,
that's the Wyndham touch.
Because if he's going to just say, like, okay, I'm going to give him a number to the cemetery, he's going to do the research and figure out where was he buried. It's going to be that one. I love that. I think it's so great that, finally paying this off of like, oh no, in the house with this psychopath. And now now Donna really gets to see like how close to danger she really was. Love that. And now we got the black, what did he have? It a knight? It was a knight to King's Bishop 3. Yeah. So, yep, we're off and running.
Yeah. So the chess move, right? So as you said, it's knight to Queen's Bishop 3. It is a black knight. Earl is white. Cooper is the king. That's clearly, when you're in a game of chess, it's one king versus another king, and that's who you're trying to destroy. So Cooper is the king. However, this isn't the first time I feel like the Black Knight has come to represent Cooper. And so you have the piece, a Black Knight. It's not Earl's piece. Earl's piece is a white one.
Wait. What's the other time that the Black Knight has represented him?
Well, we talked about it when we did the first death, about how Cooper's move was to move that Black Knight to protect the pawn. And it was like Cooper being the knight that is trying to protect all of these people. And then later in, I think it's the Diane Keaton one, it's a transition from a Black Knight to Cooper.
Yeah.
That was also there.
Interesting.
So the fact, he's moving his white knight and he's moving his black, he mails a black knight.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a dig at Cooper, like, whatever.
As opposed to a mistake, and that it should have been a white knight, you see more as a dig at Cooper. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's like Cooper is coming.
I like that explanation better than it being a production mistake. So that's cool. Okay.
Saying baits for like Cooper's removable kind of a thing. This is all great. I just love it. It's so tense. It's so mysterious. It just works really well. It just shows the show is moving in the right direction, as far as I'm concerned. This whole thing is a much needed injection of intrigue and mystery. And while Earl could also be on Scooby-Doo with some of these costume changes, I do like him as a nemesis or an antagonist or whatever, as a foil for Cooper. So I do like all this chess stuff. It's great. At the Hurleys, Dr. Jacoby mediates what is fast becoming the beginning of a divorce.
Yep. We got some couple counseling here, Nadine and Ed.
Yeah.
This is so fun. It must have been fun to play as well, but Ed, you're just being so serious. It's just the dating years. I love Nadine in this scene, just in a completely different universe than Jacoby and Ed are in. It's just like a super, super interesting. They're sitting there talking about Nadine and the mental wounds, and they're like right in front of her. They're talking about like the scar tissue is really packed in there. and they're just like right in front of her face, but she is just so in her own reality that she's not even aware of them talking about that.
Yeah, the way I think that's supposed to also be played a little bit to the front of the frame, as if like they're hiding it. They're trying not to.
It's it's a stage whisper sort of thing. Yeah, I know, but it's literally right there. The whole thing about you got to promise me you're not going to go into a jealous rage. Well, maybe just one, and just like you can see her drifting off and like picturing that scene, that scenario. She's fantasizing about it a little bit. I think that's just lovely too. But then at the last moment there, when they're talking about, Nadine is starting to kind of see reality when they're talking about this divorce. And then she realizes she thinks she's going blind in her left eye. So like some of the seriousness, some of this is actually getting through her protective cocoon, and she's starting to see the real world at the same time. So very interested to see where this is going to go. I know it doesn't go anywhere in this episode, except to the Great Northern. But no, this is pretty cool. Man, Jacoby's just the weirdest shrink you could possibly have in the world.
Yeah,
it's perfect place
She'll get there
for him to be. But anyway, what's up with you?
Well, you mentioned when she talks about the eye, but it is when, as soon as the idea of marriage is brought to her attention through divorce, she grabs for the eye. She remembers her eye. Because if we remember, she lost that eye on their honeymoon.
And you know, by golly, I shot out Nadine's eye on that honeymoon.
What do you mean, Ed?
So as soon as that comes, that's like the key connection to their marriage. Oh, she's like almost right back at that moment when he shot her eye out that weekend, which is great. I mean, she understands that it's a breakup, but, she's still off. And, Ed's just struggling with this. And Jacoby, to your point, is just like scar tissue, whatever. So I don't know, whatever they pay him, I guess. Maybe that a coupon. It's fine. All right, so we're going to jump over to the Haywards. Eileen Hayward gets a visit from an old friend, and a new mystery presents itself.
Yeah, this was unexpected. Did not see this coming at all.
Well, all the way back in episode 15, I had mentioned that maybe Doc Hayward had a reason for disliking Ben. This was when Doc Hayward was putting on those gloves.
Oh, yeah.
That he was going to do something. So maybe he has his
Oh,
reasons.
yeah. So we got Ben hanging out there, whispering in Eileen's ear. The look on Donna's face, it's just like, is she kind of excited to be Nancy Drew again? Probably not.
No. This is a guy moving in on her mom.
But I know. But at the same point, like, I'm just excited for Donna to have something to do, because she's just been MIA, other than pining for James, saving the day for James and getting no credit for it, and then getting left in the woods. Let's give her something substantial to do. But yeah, this is an interesting, intriguing new development.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. All right, so we're going to go over the double R. Norma's going to present a flyer for the Miss Twin Peaks pageant to Shelley, and Wyndham Earl is going to arrive undercover, new costume, and Cooper is going to meet Annie.
Shelley's a shoo-in. How could she not win? Look at her. I mean, she's charming. She's beautiful. She is Miss Twin Peaks, I think. But we'll find out. The whole mocking of the beauty pageant, contestant answer, world peace. We should all join hands. You can't make a fist holding. It's great. And the giggle that she does. I just love Shelley. Shelley Johnson, fantastic character. Terrific. I just, in my notes, Jesus, the costumes on this guy. Is he the biker in this one?
He's the biker, yeah.
He's the biker in this one. Okay, yeah. This is actually a good costume. This one actually works completely for me. He disappears kind of into that character. Really good. It's got all the jewelry and the tattoos and everything. Looks great. Cooper comes in, still reading that book. Again, this is the thing with the timeline. I don't know how long he's been reading this book, but he's reading a book about Tibet. I don't know, man. It kind of feels like he would have already read every book in existence around Tibet by this point in his life.
No, but it's such a great thing. Like, he's probably constantly rereading books about Tibet. So you mentioned he only has so much time that he's not policing. But the fact that he's reading this book about Tibet when he meets her, like these two things, this world of Tibet, and then here the universe is giving him Annie, is a nice touch. I like that choice of those two things together.
And the that immediate moment, they thankfully didn't do a music sting or swell whenever he sees her, but like that is the feeling. It's like this is instantaneous chemistry there, at least on his side, which is great. Earl's sitting there having to watch all this as well, having to, getting to, wanting to, not wanting to. Just there's a poor Earl is all I gotta say. I'm an Earl stan. Having to watch all this going on. We do see in this scene, Cooper makes mental note of the scar that's on Annie's wrist. So you have mentioned before, like the whole thing about the convent. Is this the reason she went into the convent? Is this why she left the convent? I don't know how it's connected to it, but we do see that looks like not a recent scar, but a scar on her wrist. Then he gives Annie the wait sign while he drinks the coffee, just to make sure that it was good. And he said, "You made it just right, Annie," which she doesn't seem all that excited about. But for me, watching Cooper talk about how good the coffee is always going to be a thrill. But anyway, what did I miss in this scene, Eric?
Well, I think you listed it all. Well, you get the Chamber of Commerce presenting the Miss Twin Peaks pageant. I talked about Earl just being sort of a goofy Scooby-Doo villain. I feel like this is the most ridiculous. He is hungry because I don't know what kind of burgers that they serve at the Double R, but it's a triple decker. When she brings out that burger, it is 3 burgers deep. It's like 4 pieces of bread. That thing, and it looks like there's bacon coming out of it. Man, that boy must be hungry. I like the whole Annie thing, and you see that scar, and it's from a suicide attempt, and like she is maybe an innocent force that is not meant for this world, that is living with all this pain. And that's who Cooper is. Like, Cooper is that person. We're going to get a lot more of that in the autobiography that I hope you're all reading at home. And so it's nice to see these two people that have pain in their rear view, or that are still dealing with it. Cooper's still carrying around a picture of Caroline with him.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're coming together, and maybe something will come of it, maybe something won't. But I love that he sees that. He does not comment on it. He registers it. And then he does his coffee review.
Yep.
Just like he did with Trudy the Waitress back in episode 1. Now, thank God he liked it. Because Cooper seems like the kind of personality that's going to tell you the truth, even if it may be... So yeah, he likes it. It's a great thing that he I think he says, like, you made it perfectly, like, which is also, like, after acknowledging the pain and the sadness that she's carrying around with her, to try to end your life. Like, it's so heavy. And it's just, I like this scene. I like the way that they put this together. I like that they don't draw attention to it. It is just acknowledged in like a brief flash. And then he's like, "You made it perfectly." I'm like, no notes. I love the music playing. Northwest Gulch is great. It's Angelo Badalamenti. It just works really well. You talked about Shelley. Goddamn Shelley. I hope she gets that scholarship and cash prize. But and also we should say Earl encourages her to do this. He's like, "Oh, I think you should." So maybe Earl has some plans for this Miss Twin Peaks pageant. And watching Earl watch Cooper, and he's seething.
Yeah.
But he's also paying attention. He's paying attention to Cooper. He's paying attention to whoever this woman is that he's talking to, because he knows Cooper. All right, so we're going to go over. Hawk is going to bring Cooper to the bookhouse to deal with a very drunk and a very destructive Harry. He broke every piece of furniture, this son of a bitch.
Anything wasn't nailed down, Harry's broken all the furniture. Wait, who calls Cooper Deputy Dale?
Harry. He's drunk. He's like, "Deputy Dale."
Yeah, I like that. I like Deputy Dale. That's pretty great. Yeah, man, more shouting Harry. I don't know. This is the whole monologue about how Josie just made everything better. Like, I feel his pain. Man. And you can't help who you fall in love with. But dude, Josie, I don't know.
Well, hold on. I just want to pause you just for 1 second.
Sure.
You say, like, how could Harry love Josie? But I remember a much younger Dan Johnson on this podcast,
Uh-huh.
when we were first being introduced to Josie.
And she's perfect, and there's nothing wrong with her. She is perfect.
Right. The way she would say top of the morning, or
I know.
not, what was the way that she would mispronounce top of the morning? It wasn't top of the morning.
No.
It was like, I don't remember what she said. It was delightful.
It was on top of the morning. I think she said on top
of the morning.
I
And
think
all
that.
of those little
Yeah.
things. For Harry, he's only getting that version of her plus the super sexual stuff. I mean, come on. Harry's a red-blooded American man over here.
Yep.
But you probably had more stuff before your mic cut.
No, that was it.
All right, I love this scene. Granted, the Harry yelling stuff, okay, whatever. I could deal without it. The Josie stuff. But as soon as they get to, when Harry loses it and Cooper gives him a hug, and it becomes this love over fear thing that we're dealing with fear and death and all these things, and love, and is love enough? And we're asking ourselves that. And he says, like, I don't understand.
Understand? There's a whole lot I don't understand.
We're all like that.
There's a whole lot I don't understand. And Cooper says we're all like that.
Oh, I love it.
God damn it. It's wonderful.
It's a great line.
It's wonderful. And then they get him back to bed, and, you know, somebody's got to be assigned to watch over him. And Cooper says that line, like, a man who doesn't love easily loves too much. Also, that's a great line.
Yeah.
And when they start showering with compliments and Hawk says he's the best, he just says, keep going. Harry just adds, keep going. Like, he wants to keep getting these great compliments. But I love that moment because they are such good friends and Harry is in such a bad place.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're all like that. Like, we don't understand this world. Like, it's just, let's whistle past the graveyard together.
Hawk has another great line that I really like when he's complimenting. Well, he's not actually complimenting at this part. He says, I've never seen him this way. It was like hiking out to a favorite spot and finding a hole where the lake used to be. I think that's a great metaphor. I think it's a beautiful metaphor. It works wrong. I want to give Hawk his due here. That was great. Anyway, go ahead.
Michael Horse, the great Michael Horse. All right, so back at the Great Northern, Randy checks Mr. and Mrs. Hinkman in for a quiet night in the countryside.
Thank goodness we get more Randy St. Croix. That's what we needed here.
He's back.
Terrific. I love Mr. and Mrs. Hinkman. It actually made me laugh out loud, the two of them. Mike looks like three toddlers in a trench coat stacked on top of each other. And Nadine's she's dressing like a young person thinks an older person would dress. It's just like they're both trying to come at it from different directions to try to meet somewhere in the middle in a weird way.
Yeah.
It's really funny. He is so baby-faced. It's ridiculous. That coat is
a lot of disguises.
crazy. So that's just super fun. The two high school students, classmates of Mike coming up behind after he gives this whole stuttering, convoluted where they're going, where they're coming from Bozeman, and he's just digging himself deeper with his lies, and then they're there behind him, so he has to acknowledge them.
We're going deep.
Yes.
And she's like, sea fishing.
Great. And then Nadine is like, okay, this is it. Give me the freaking key, and then smashes the bell. Fantastic. It's such a good light scene in the middle of all this. And we get to have your favorite character, Mike, back. I know that you're a Mike stan, so this is great.
But were you surprised? Obviously, I knew about Mike and Nadine, but when we were talking about Nadine and going younger, and then I was like, I don't know how interested she is in Big Ed, but were you surprised that Mike went in on it? Because clearly, like, Nadine's been after Mike for several episodes.
Right.
But now they're like a couple.
Right. No, because they have, like, was I surprised that this scene would happen? No, because they've said it over a few episodes.
I mean, remember Mike was literally trying to get a restraining order against her. Right? Like, he wasn't into it. And there's several episodes, I think, where you were like, I don't think Mike's into it. And I'm sitting here, like, giggling.
Right. There was the one scene, you had mentioned this when were they at the Double R together? And whatever. And he kind of looks at, that's the first moment he kind of looked interested. Anyway, no, it's just great to see the scene, the two of them kind of playing out. But
yeah, the two high school girls, Susan, their outfits are out of control.
Yeah.
Like, they are just like, that's like, I think one's got like a beret. Like, it feels very, I know it's the 90s,
Wait.
91, but it still feels very 80s.
Are they there for the fashion show?
Probably. I'm assuming
either dressed up for an attendance for it, but that wasn't the kind of audience that was there. Are they in the show? We just didn't see them.
I thought they were watching the show or something.
But when you pan across the audience, it's definitely like older people there to make donations. But anyway, yeah.
I don't know. They could be there for any reason.
Could be.
But just the outfits, I thought
they were crazy,
funny. And then, of course, Nadine has no time for this nonsense. She wants to get busy, and her super strength literally breaks the bell completely. Don't forget she has super strength, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go over to the event room in the Great Northern, where the Horns Department Store fashion show to benefit the Stop Ghostwood, Save the Pine Weasel project is in full swing. Catherine stops by to poke fun at Ben over his newfound environmentalism, and the Weasel takes center stage. Oh, and Audrey is swept off her.
Yes, she is. Yeah, just glad they found a new way to fit Dickie into all of this here as the MC. He is just great. I mean, the actor, the way that he can play this character, turning on a dime between that overly solicitous smile that absolutely looks like it's a cartoon character drawn, like his perfect teeth and the squinty eyes. He looks like a cartoon character, and then he could just absolutely turn on Tim Pinkle at the same time. It's terrific. We get a little bit of the fashion show. We get Lucy coming out there. Well, it's Lucy and Andy. She mentions it later that she feels like she's like drowning in it, sweating because of so much of the worsted wool that she's wearing, but so much plaid. The plaid on them.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. It's insane. But that's fun. You got Lucy being ditzy, going down the runway and doing the turn and looking dizzy like she's going to fall over after just one spin. It's great. Andy, so uncomfortable, staring ahead, doesn't know when it's over, and Dick finally getting him off the stage is great. So that whole part's really cool. Then we cut over to the bar scene, and we got Ben dunking cookies in milk.
Yeah, he's changed his ways, or has he?
It's great. Well, although I gotta say, he was chewing on celery and wearing that 80s tracksuit, 80s 90s tracksuit before, but now he's dunking milk and cookies. I guess the man's got to have his vices somewhere.
He says he's got a dirty conscience that he's trying to get clean, and maybe Catherine should do it too.
Absolutely.
Is he for real? I don't know.
As Ben is describing all of this, her look of condescension to him is just great. Just withering. Just, is he for real? Like, how can you absolutely be serious? And she's trying to figure out too. She knows that she's known him for 40 years or whatever it is. She knows that this cannot be right. But I think part of her is like, I don't know, man. This seems pretty genuine.
Yeah, I also think she's trying to kick up some heat between them.
You think so?
I think Catherine has always had a thing for Ben, and I think she wants a little bit of...
I didn't see that, but okay.
I feel a little bit of Catherine thinking they would do a little back and forth and then get the coals. Remember the last time we saw Catherine, when Ben was in the height of his Civil War, she was putting his head to her breast.
I want you, Ben. Horrifying as it seems, I can't escape it. You make my body hum.
I mean, that's in line with Catherine's entire, I think.
Yeah.
I think she still likes him. Ben's Ben. He's a charming guy.
Yeah. I would definitely see Catherine as the kind of person that wants to be the object of affection. Whether or not she actually cares for the person is a question to me, but okay. So we got that. Tim Pinkle, he's a man of surprising depth. He's talking about the plight of the pine weasel. Talking about how gentle they are, and of course, it's going to end up with a weasel on Dick's nose. This comic character, this comic book sort of setup of it, holding that weasel on his nose as he's flopping around on the stage, and finally releases it. The chaos and panic that is just fantastic. We get a little camera work. How could the director not enjoy this when he gives a weasel point of view shot running through the audience there? It's down underneath the tables.
Yeah, it's like an 80s part. It's like an 80s party scene. This whole thing feels like the end of a Rodney Dangerfield movie or something.
Right. Why not? Yeah, and as you mentioned, through all the chaos, Audrey nearly falls off the stage, or does fall off the stage, and John Justice is there with open arms to catch her. And Eric, they kiss.
They do.
Oh,
She gets
they
a
kiss.
kiss from her.
She gets that kisser. Fantastic. And then the scene ends with a woman screaming directly into the microphone, which is just a great way to end it. But yeah, anyway, it's a lot going on in this scene, but we got a couple of really interesting beats.
It's silly but funny. I mean, Lucy, just to back up about Lucy, she's still jealous of Dick. Like, I find Lucy, I know she's one of your favorites, but she bothers me to no end with, like, the way she treats Andy and, like, by the way, where is little Nicky? This poor kid who had this horrible... He had the same, like, backstory as Freddy Krueger and with the nightmare with the nun in the insane asylum, where this horrible crime is committed. He's born. His mom's dead, buried in Potter's Field or whatever. Then he's taken in by multiple families. And then finally he gets some big brothers in the way of two men that are fighting over taking care of him. And now we don't even see him anymore. We're never even going to mention...
Nicky who? I'm sorry? Who's Nicky?
Exactly. But anyway... Lucy still being jealous because Dick's talking to these two models or whatever.
Silly.
And it's like, what do you want, Lucy? What do you want?
I gotta defend myself and say Lucy used to be one of my favorite characters. I thought she was great in the beginning. This whole turn from that, time of her getting pregnant till now, she's a different person. I really don't enjoy the character much at all anymore. So that's sad.
It's a bit real. I mean, she's still. I'm not like hating on Lucy.
No, you hate her.
It's a bit. I find it a little. Why was she going after Dick for? It makes her a little bit unlikable. I don't think I'm.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I'm alone in thinking that. Obviously, you disagreed with me. This whole scene is fine. I mean, it's just wild. It does feel like an '80s party thing, and clearly Tim is trying to get the weasel to bite Dick, which is funny when you think back about him showing up with the taxidermied weasel and then him insisting, and it's like, oh yeah, you want a live weasel? Here's a live weasel. Like the two of them just bickering and causing this whole scene is funny. At the bookhouse, one of the boys gets knocked out, and if Miss Jones isn't careful, she'll get knocked up because she's getting in bed with Harry. Dan, what do you make of this? Like, this Miss Jones, she's coming over here, she's knocking people out, she's getting in bed with them. What? It's a weird ending.
Well, it's good to see that there are more bookhouse boys. We know that there were. We haven't seen any in quite a while. The motorcycle guys with hearts of gold, it seems. We got one there reading a book. We only see him from behind before he gets clobbered. And then Ms. Jones just getting into the negligee and climbing into bed with Harry. I don't know, man. This could go a couple of different ways. I don't think any of them are good, though.
Until next.
It's an interesting cliffhanger.
Well, actually, we'll have to wait 2. You have to wait 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Yes.
Because next week we'll be talking about a book, but after that we'll be talking about why is this lady in Harry's bed?
Yeah. So keep that in here.
Maybe she'll be pregnant with Harry's baby. Wouldn't that be a twist? That doesn't happen.
Okay.
It's an odd ending. It's
a very strange ending.
It's very strange because it's so fast, and you come off of this wild, hey, the weasel running around like it's complete, like bonkers slapstick.
Right.
It's literally got a weasel on his nose. And then you go to the bookhouse for some intrigue with a character we really don't know. I mean, we know she's Eckert. We know Eckert had a plan for Harry. I mean, I called attention to that last time. Maybe this is connected to that. Maybe it isn't. But it's weird, and it's so fast, and it just ends on that. So it's an odd ending for a show, but...
I mean, we have seen one ending, at least, that was a little bit odder, and that had to do with a drawer knob. So, in the scheme of things, not the strangest ending in the world.
I guess, but that one you'll talk about. I'm still talking about that, yes.
I'm being silly, yes. This one just feels a little bit out of place in the pacing of everything else. So, and it doesn't have the stakes at the end, but it's fine.
Well, who knows? Maybe something. We'll see how it goes.
Fantastic.
See how it goes. And that's it. That's the end of. This is the end of our first part because we're now in the last run. We're in the last 6 episodes. There's only 5 more episodes.
I've been promised big things about the ending.
Crazy.
So cannot wait.
Any recollection of the ending?
I mean, of the ending, yes, but of everything that's leading up to it, very hazy, very hazy.
No, it's a
So,
good one. All right,
just like, yeah.
so that's it. I'm glad you guys are with us. And
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, all right. Next time, book time. All right. Goodbye.
What an ending.
I don't know, it's like this ending.
Oh, it's great.
All right, we'll see
All
you
right.
guys next time.
All right, let's climb into bed with Ms. Jones.
Thank you for listening to the Meanwhile podcast with Dan Johnson and Eric Grissom. If you would like to support the Meanwhile podcast, join our Patreon. It's available right now. You can sign up, and for just a few dollars a month, you can keep this show going, and you can get access to some exclusive podcasts and some secret stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else. So if you'd like to join, go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile and look for the Patreon link. If you like our show, please consider rating and reviewing the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're hearing this now. Meanwhile is produced by Eric Grissom and Where's My Robots? The Meanwhile theme song is written and performed by Paul Finn and Evening Pines. If you want to let us know what you thought of the show, you can reach Dan at danjnj.com, both on the web and on Blue Sky. Eric can be found on Blue Sky at ericgrissom.com, which is also his website. It's also me, right? That's weird. We'll see you again, and in the meantime, be good.
Listen to the sounds.
Meanwhile.